Hey guys, it's Cassie, and today I'm going to be showing you how I customized my iPhone home screen with the new iOS 14 update. Here's a little sneak peek at what mine looks like now that it is all complete. I have been seeing these everywhere. It seems like everyone is customizing their iPhone home screens right now. It is a super big trend, and I think it's pretty fun to be able to match your phone to your style and just make it look like you, and something that is fun to look at every single day when you get on your phone. So I'm going to be showing you how I set this up, as well as some tips and tricks that I learned along the way. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing that I am going to show you guys is just a brief overview of everything that I did on my home screen. So the first screen right here, I have just the standard day and date with the calendar next to it. I feel like that's a really popular one that a lot of people have. Of course, I customized mine to be the kind of like cream color vibe that I was going for, just really neutral. And then I have two pictures on my home screen. I have this cloud one and then this one that's kind of like a shadow of a palm tree. So I have those two pictures on there, and then I also have my apps kind of matching that same aesthetic with the white kind of neutral minimalist background. And so I'll be showing you how to do all of this in a minute, but right now I'm just showing you kind of the overview. And then on this second page, I have this bigger quote that says trust in the universe, that is also in kind of the same vibe, like the cream color neutral vibe that I was going for, with all of my social medias at the bottom. And then on this one, I have both a quote that I also really loved, rise above the storm and you will find sunshine. Once again, kind of matches the whole vibe. And then I also have a little box at the bottom here that shows my battery life. So as my phone battery gets lower or higher, that will move along with it and kind of show me my battery, which I thought was a pretty fun one. And then this screen, I just have a bunch of extra apps that I use on a semi-daily basis that I still wanted to be easily accessible, but not necessarily on that home screen. And then finally, another big update I feel like with iOS 14 is the app library. I feel like this is a super fun update because it allows you to not have every single app that you use on your home screen, and you can have it kind of stored off to the side where it's not in your way, but you can still have it on your phone. So basically, you can delete these apps off of your home screen, but it'll still be located here in the app library so you can access it. And it kind of is in these little categories that are just separated by type, and Apple does this on their own. I didn't even organize these whatsoever. This is just kind of how they have it listed there. And you can also search for different apps if you're looking for a specific one here too. So that's really fun. So that's how mine is set up, just kind of a big overview. And then let's go ahead and dive into how I did all of this. The first one that I'll start with is just these widgets, which are all of the images, and this calendar one that you see, as well as the battery one. Those are all widgets. So I'm going to show you how to create your personalized widget and then how to add it to your home screen. So in order to create a widget, you can do a couple of different things. One, you do have the option of using the generic widgets that Apple has preloaded onto your phone. So I'll show you those really quick. If you hold down on your home screen, then the apps will start to wiggle. And then at that point, you can go ahead and click the plus icon at the top left. And right here on this screen, you have all of these widgets that Apple has added here for us. So there's quite a few things. These ones are not as styled and aesthetic as maybe the ones that you would create yourself would be. It's not, I mean, none of these would match kind of the vibe that I'm going for on my iPhone. So what we can go ahead and do is create our own. Now, in order to create our own, we do have to have a third-party app. The one that I used is called Widgetsmith. That one I found that I liked the most, but there are a lot of apps out there that allow you to create widgets. Another one that I came across was Color Widget. That one's another good one as well. I did not use it for any of the ones on my phone, but it is another one that I did play around with a little bit, and I did kind of like that one as well. I'm going to show you how to create one on Widgetsmith. First, you obviously need to download the app. Once you have it downloaded, you'll go into the app, and this is what it looks like when you have it up. Now, you have the option to create a small, a medium, and a large widget. First, I'll show you guys how to create a medium widget, since I feel like that's the most common one that you see right on the home screen. So first, what you do is you click on the medium widget, or you can click add a medium widget if there's not already one there. Go ahead and click on it. It brings up the overview of kind of what it looks like. Click on it again to edit it. You can choose any type of widget that you're looking for, whether you want the time, the date, the day of the week, photos, anything like that. For this one, I'm gonna go ahead and just click the big day one. I feel like that one is a super popular one that I see a lot of people with. I don't currently have that one on my phone and I probably won't replace it, but just to give you guys an idea of what it's like to create one. So then the next thing that you can customize is the font. Of course, they have all of these options and you can choose anything. I'm gonna go ahead and use this one called Noteworthy. I really like that one. I think that it's super pretty lettering. And then from there, you can also edit the tint color, which is essentially the font color, so the color of the lettering. I'm just gonna go ahead and stick with standard white since that kind of matches my vibe that I'm going for a little bit more. And then you can go ahead and go into the background color, which is going to change obviously the background behind your lettering. Since I'm going for a super neutral vibe, I'm gonna go with a neutral color. I'm just gonna choose this cream color right here. Really, you can customize this to match whatever vibe you're going for. You can go anything from blacks and grays. You can do like pastel pink, pastel purple, blue. You can do super dark colors. If you're wanting more of a dark vibe, you can do bright hot pink and everything in between. There's so many different options on here, so whatever you're going for, it really does kind of have an option that will match that for you. I'm gonna go ahead and choose the cream one though, since that matches my vibe. And then you can also add a border if you want to add a border. I didn't for any of mine, but you have all of these color options here if you are wanting to do that, but I'm gonna go ahead and click none for mine. If you go backwards, it'll show you the overview of what you just created. So you can see my cream background with my white lettering, and I have the big day in the middle that says Saturday, since that is when I am recording this. And then we are going to go ahead and click save to save the edits that we just made. Now, as you can see, that one is sitting there along with all of the other widgets that I have created so far. If you want to go ahead and add this to your screen, you can go ahead and go back to the home screen here. Once again, you're going to hold down the home screen with your finger just so that it makes the apps wiggle. And then at the top left, you are once again going to click the add button, but this time, instead of clicking on these generic widgets that Apple already has for us, we're going to scroll down where it has the list of all of these apps and find the Widgetsmith app on this list. Once I go ahead and click on it, it gives you the option if you're going to want to add a small, medium, or large widget. Since I just created my medium one, I'm going to go ahead and add that one to the screen. So I'm going to click add widget on the medium one. This one is going to bring up the widget that I just created. Sometimes it won't bring up that exact one and it'll bring up a different one. For example, it may have brought up the calendar one. That one wasn't the one that I was intending to add. So I can go ahead and select it, select the widget, and I can change it to medium 2, change it back to medium 3, whatever I'm looking for, I can go ahead and add that, and then it will change it to whichever one I selected. And then if I'm wanting to delete it, which obviously this is not the one that I had originally picked out for my home screen, so I'm just gonna go ahead and delete it. You just click this little minus button at the top left and then click remove to confirm it. And then that's how you add a widget to your phone. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys also how to create the ones with the images, since that is also another really common one, and I do have several of those on my screen as well. So once again, you're gonna go ahead and go into the Widgetsmith app. Most of my pictures are these small widgets. So what you go ahead and do to create a new one is add a small widget. That will bring up a generic widget. Once again, you click on it again to edit. And then in order to do an image, you're gonna go down to custom. And there is an option for photo. You can do all kinds of different things with the ones with photos on them. You can do a photo with a date, a photo with the date and date, custom text if you wanted to say something specific. You have a lot of options here, but I'm just gonna go ahead and select photo since I just want the photo and nothing else. And then if you go down to the bottom here, it says selected photo, and then you can choose a photo from your library. As you can see, I have a ton of pictures here that I have been using to customize my apps as I've been going along, but I'll just go ahead and click this dandelion here, and I'll just use that one as my photo for my widget. Once I have that selected, I just go ahead and click back. It'll give me an overview of what my widget looks like, and I click save, and as you can see, that widget is now listed here under my widgets that I currently have. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back to my home screen to add it. Once again, hold it down so that the apps jiggle. Click the add button at the top left, find Widgetsmith. This time I'm gonna add a small widget since that's what I just created. And this one, this time, did not add the one that I was intending to. So I'll go ahead and select it, select the name of it. I just barely created small number 5. So I'll click that and go back to the home screen, and now it is the dandelion one that I just created. I'm gonna go ahead and delete it since that's not what I want to have on my home screen there, but now you guys get the idea of how you add those widgets. And there's just a whole bunch of different options. You can always mess around with those apps that create the widgets. Every single one would be added the same way. You just mess around with it and make it customized how you want it to be, and then add it to your home screen. But that is how I added mine. Now the next thing, and this was the thing that I found the hardest to figure out how to do, and that is to customize the app covers. Now the way that you do this, or the way that I found to do it, is to use the Shortcuts app. Mine was already on my phone. I'm not sure if Apple just downloads that, or maybe if I had it from a previous time, but regardless, it is the Shortcuts app. Let me show you what it looks like. So the Shortcuts app here is this top one. It just kind of has this like blue and pink logo on it. So you're gonna go ahead and go in here. As you can see, I have all of my shortcuts listed here for all of the apps that I have on my phone. So if you're wanting to add a new one, basically this is going to change the cover of the app. So once you're in the app like this, you go ahead and click the add button at the top right, click add action, and then in here you're going to type open app, and it's this top option right here, open app. And then it allows you to choose which app you want to open. So let's say I want to do my camera. I'll go ahead and select the camera app from that drop down, and now it says open camera. So now in order to actually edit the logo of the app and edit the name, you'll click these three little dots under the next option, and then you're going to name it. So I'll just go ahead and name it camera, and then click add to home screen. From here, you're going to rename it again. So camera for mine. And then you click on the icon right here and click choose photo. I'm gonna scroll through and find one that looks like a camera. So that one, that's how I wanted mine to look. Once you have your photos picked out that you're wanting to use and you have them saved to your camera roll, you just go through that process, choose the image, click choose, and it'll pop it up right here. And then you click add, and then it'll pop up with this thing that says added to home screen, just confirming that it was done. Click done, go back to the home screen, and then mine has been added down here at the bottom. So a few little tips and tricks about this that I did want to mention. A lot of people get their images from Pinterest. That's what I did. I kind of went through a couple of different aesthetics and vibes before I found the one that I really wanted to go for. You could do like a seasonal vibe one. I've been kind of toying with the idea of changing mine to a fall or Halloween version, which I've seen a lot of people do. You can also do like a pink aesthetic vibe. I was kind of thinking of doing more of a pink, but at the end of the day, I felt like my style was more of the neutral vibe, so I went ahead and went with that for the time being. But you can really, I mean, the possibilities are endless. Whatever your vibe is, you can search it and probably find it on the internet. You can also use Google Images to find something that you're wanting. What a lot of people have done is created like a whole Pinterest board full of like inspiration and pictures that look like what the aesthetic is that they're going for, and you can kind of choose from that. I just went ahead and saved them all to my camera roll and kind of chose from them from there. As far as the app logos go, I also found those on Pinterest, but if you notice, while I'm looking through my phone, not all of them are exactly matching. There are a few that have a little bit of a different tint of a color or things like that, which doesn't bother me. But if you're bothered by that and you want something that is exactly perfect for every single one, there is the option to buy a pack. I know that a lot of people sell things like this on Etsy, so I'm sure if you went and looked for that, you could find some packs that have matching versions on there if you're really into it and you want to stay super committed. I just know that I'm gonna end up changing my mind about 10 times about what color and aesthetic I want, so it's not really worth it for me to buy something. But that's definitely an option, just so that you know if you're wanting to do something like that, that is there. Another major tip that I did want to say, I know that a lot of people do customize their iPhones without changing the app covers, and if you want to do that, that is totally fine. And in fact, I think that for some people may be better. Let me tell you why. So when you go into an app, so let's say I want to go into my photos, I'll go ahead and click it. It does bring up that Shortcuts app first before it brings up the actual app. So let me go through it again so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So I click Photos, Shortcuts app, and then it goes to my photos every single time. And that will happen for every single app that you change the cover of, because essentially you're just creating a link from that photo on your home screen to the actual app. So it's not going to be as functional is what I'm gonna say. So if you are more on the side of functionality and you don't care so much about, you know, everything being super aesthetic and pleasing to the eye on there, and you care more about having it just go straight to the app, I would say I would not attempt to do all of the apps in the same color because it's going to end up bothering you. It does bother me a little bit, I'm not going to lie. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to stick to my apps being through that shortcut app, but you know, for now it's working for me, so I'm going to save it. But before you spend the hours upon hours of going through each app and changing the picture and finding one that matches, take note of that, because I do wish someone had told me that before I started doing it and realized what was happening, because it's definitely something that you should know. Another tip that I am going to give you guys is that make sure you know what you're going for before you start actually adding it to your screen. And what I mean by that is, if you aren't sure what your aesthetic is going to be for your phone, don't start like going through and adding all of the app images and going through that process just to get done and not like it and have to redo it. I kid you not, this takes so long. Like for me to do this, it took me, I'm gonna say probably a good like 3 or 4 hours of just like straight up doing this to actually get everything converted and changed over, figure out how to do it, go through all those steps. It's a commitment for sure. So if you are not sure what your vibe is going to be, I would suggest maybe going through some images on Facebook or something, looking at a whole bunch of different examples of home screens before you commit to a certain vibe, making sure it's something that you actually want before you save all of the images. But yeah, so that is everything that I have for you guys. I hope that this was helpful. I hope that if you guys were looking for how to kind of set up your home screen, I hope this helped you. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video as well. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up. And of course, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me a comment down below letting me know if you have converted your iOS 14 home screen yet. And if you did, what kind of your aesthetic and vibe is. I will see you all next week in a brand new video. Bye guys.